Welcome to Kaleidoscope. Let's talk. At Kaleidoscope, we love talking and experiencing food, and we've had quite a few from other lands who have given us that experience. But did you know that Sri Lankans are doing the same thing in Europe? Today's guest is a backpacker turned restaurateur who found himself bringing the authenticity of Sri Lankan and South Asian flavors to Croatia in 2016 and to Serbia in 2023. Clement Senaratne is on Kaleidoscope Let's Talk today. He is the founder and CEO of CurrySouls. Clement, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to have you in Sri Lanka. What's been the best about Sri Lanka and its food since you've been here for a little while now?
I do come fairly regularly, but every time I come, I see so much changes over here. Things are, restaurant scene is growing so fast. I feel like there is more restaurants expanding here faster than even what you see over there. So, and the food offering is, it's increasing. Competition is high. Just today I was talking to one guy, they're talking about the food on the shovels and all these things becoming so popular, which is not really found on that side actually.
So what is CurrySouls all about?
So CurrySouls was originally, something that started off after I entered the restaurant business originally in Sri Lanka. I'm from the corporate background, not really, restaurant is not really my background from the start of my career. But when I started up a restaurant here with some friends in the coast of Sri Lanka, it was more on the Mediterranean cuisine to the tourists. But during a holiday in Europe, the idea came up, why not create a curry franchise chain representing Sri Lankan food and take that out. So it's like this modern, funky, hip curry house serving Sri Lankan street food.
So taking Sri Lankan street food into Europe, especially the Balkan region where we've been, how has the feedback been?
When we first got there, people were like, this is a mistake. They're like, us Balkan people don't like to try this strange food. Curry was completely unheard of. But it just happens to be that nobody had really gone and put it out there, right? And they loved it. We had to play with the spice tolerance. That's about the only thing that we played with. We kept the rest of the flavors pretty authentic. Every dish, basically, you can order between 4 levels of how hot you like it to make sure that even the tourists or the locals all can enjoy the food.
There seems to be a sense of adventure when it comes to cuisine also worldwide, right?
Food is like, I say, it's the global language, right? When it comes to even travel, right? Whenever you go to a country, it's all about where you're going to eat, where you're searching up. So I think it's like this common language that kind of represents regions. So people are excited when they come to our restaurant. They are highly excited. Very often we hear people say, "Oh, we never tried Sri Lankan food," and now Sri Lankan food is having its spotlight in the world, right? We've become this. People already know about Indian cuisine, right? But now Sri Lankan food is like this sexier version of Indian food, that's come out and everybody wants to hear about it.
Did you have to Indianize your Sri Lankan food to get people to like it?
No, not at all. We kept, like I said, we kept the flavors original. We just wanted to play with the spice level. And that was the only thing because Balkan people are hypersensitive, at least some of them are hypersensitive to chili when you compare with this part of the world.
You said people asked you, why are you doing this here? It's not the right thing. Why actually did you take curry into that region?
It was kind of a spontaneous decision during the backpacking trip in August when the idea popped up in Europe. And by November, I had already moved there, and was setting up the restaurant. By the 6th of December, we had the first restaurant already open.
If you look back and see the challenges that you've had, what have they been and how did you circumvent them?
A lot of people tell me that, wasn't it really scary going into a completely unknown country? You don't know anybody. You don't know the language. The entire system runs in the local language. English is just a language for tourists. They don't operate in it. I would go into the supermarket and read the label and find Croatian, Serbian, French, German, Italian, and not even find English in the labels. So this part was a challenge at the beginning, but the people there were very warm and welcoming. And over the years, I kind of got the hang and understanding of how to operate around there, although I still didn't manage to learn the language. And now, after successfully running the operation in Croatia for like 6-7 years, we've also expanded now to Serbia. And we started the operation there last year, and that's been a phenomenal hit.
What have been your signature dishes on the menu that have really taken off?
So I'm a big Kotthu fan. Like when I was living here, I used to go around looking for where is the best spot that has the Kotthu. Kotthu is big, popular part of the CurrySouls brand that we are making. And this part is like, also we do it the traditional way, not like how you see now things are getting modernized here. You see people doing Kotthu on the wok. But we are doing with the old style, with the metal choppers, loud, making a big noise about it, putting some really nice gooey cheese on top, making it really flavorful, and people are really surprised. They ask, what is this? Is this pasta? Is this noodles? Is this rice? What is this? And they cannot really fathom the amount of flavors going into it.
What other dishes do you have on the menu?
We keep our menu simple, right? Our main dishes is Kotthu, devil, we have CurrySouls. So obviously we do like 4 very good curries. We do a chicken curry, tuna curry, a vegan curry, a black pork curry. And then we have a couple of fusion dishes like the hot butter cuttlefish, which is not really Sri Lankan, but it's become more Sri Lankan than Chinese now. And then we do some fried rice, and Sri Lankans love their noodles. So more towards the modern Sri Lankan food. They're very Sri Lankan. Some people ask, like they'll try the devil dish and they ask, is this really Sri Lankan? And they're like, yeah, it's totally Sri Lankan. It's just that it's not like a back in the day grandma's dish, but it is the modern day dish.
Your first restaurant was in 2016. That was an absolute hit. At that point, were there other South Asian restaurants in the vicinity? How did you manage that?
There was one. That's it. When we got there, but they were pretty much unheard of. We really put it on the map. 2 years into the operation, suddenly we had 2 Indian restaurants open within 100 meters on the 2 sides. Within a span of 1 month, they both opened up. And now there's plenty over there. And it's the same story with Serbia, actually. Serbia did not have much South Asian cuisine, and now we are like introducing it. I mean, the excitement is big. We are getting featured on national television, newspapers. I mean, they're coming to us because for them this is something wow, big and exciting, and Sri Lanka is an absolute paradise for them. So they just want to know more, come and try the food. So it's it's great over there.
Clement, what are the fears or the misconceptions that Europeans have about Sri Lanka and also about Sri Lankan food?
Sri Lanka is a place that people often refer to as paradise. I mean, I often get asked the question, why you leave Sri Lanka and come here? When it comes to food, it's just one fear is just the spicy food. We often get branded as a restaurant that is all about spicy food, and we keep saying, no, we're not about spicy food. We have hot food, but it's about flavors. It's about intense flavors, not only about the hot food. So that would be something that we try to get people to understand and to not to be scared to come and try the food.
So what's the biggest challenge you face in translating Sri Lankan food onto the plates of the European?
Asians, they love to for the food to come onto the table, and then we will serve our curries and everything. I mean, not just South Asian, but even East Asian, in Chinese. This is how it is, right? But you go to Europe side, or the western part of the world, it's more like, it's, I always say, your cordon bleu, his schnitzel, lasagna. It's kind of a packaged meal. So that's one of the things that's different about our concept. We are this fast casual curry house, but like if they're ordering chicken curry and they really don't know much about South Asian cuisine, it's immediately coming with the rice, the curry, the polsam ball, and it's not like the usual South Asian restaurants where you need to order your rice, your naan, your curry, and people sometimes don't even know how to mix and match. So our dishes are like paired completely, so they know exactly when they order, it's a complete dish and they know what to get. And
You spoke about flavor. How do you source your spices, your raw materials to make the curry powder, to make, to get that authentic flavor?
our curry powder is kind of our secret recipe. That's what makes CurrySouls what it is. And this is produced for us by a company in Sri Lanka. It's a very close friend of mine and also a partner now in the business, right? And he makes it for us according to our recipe, and that's about the only main product that we are bringing. The rest of the things we're actually sourcing it locally over there.
Are there any dishes from Sri Lanka that you're taking back with you to introduce there?
Every year our menu gets slightly changed. Our core dishes stay as it is, but a few changes are done further down the menu. So that process is already in place. So I'm not going to go and trouble my chef now.
What's next for CurrySouls?
Our goal is, the vision has been to take Sri Lankan food, not in the fine dining segment, but in this easy access segment, and go get maximum reach as possible. So we are setting up 2 more stores now in Serbia, and we have a plan of reaching 26 franchise stores by 2029. We have some very good partners on board, some very senior guys from large companies like McDonald's, Starbucks has come on board as supporting the whole project. So we have big plans, and I have a lot of work cut out. Very excited, and we will see how the next few years are going to span out.
Thank you for taking Sri Lankan cuisine global. Kaleidoscope is on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. Follow us and like us for more.